got the glutes, I got the calves, I got the abs. I got the glutes, I got the calves, I got the abs. It's time to get lit, it's time to get fit. Let's meal prep and get it in, get it in. Get lit, transformation, freedom, and innermost heaven. Let's hit the gym and get fit, get fit. Get lit, Well, hello, it's Tina with Enriched by Tina here to help you get your whole life together while I'm doing it like in real time, like for real though. I'm getting myself together even as we speak. So when I tell you I'm doing it in real time, it's in real time. I'm getting my whole life together. And I'm trying to pull my scripture up. I thought I had it together. I had a bright idea this morning. Good morning. Let me see who all over here. Good morning. Good morning, Mother McKnight. Good morning, Keisha. Lord, good morning, Courtney. What a surprise. Good morning, Tanya. So good to see you. I'm trying to get myself together over here. I had a bright idea this morning. And y'all know how I am. I'll do something right in real time. And so it threw me. And so therefore it threw me off. And and listen, it's my topic. Look, it is so befitting. No more delays, obeying God's standards today. And we learned about that yesterday with the sister circle, that sometimes the next thing that we're gonna get if we're being obedient. And I am being obedient to God and trying and doing what God said. I had this bright idea. I was just gonna go live on another one of my platforms because it looks like I thought it wasn't going live on one of these platforms. So I said, well, I'm gonna just go live on somewhere else. That wasn't the thing to do. But anywho, I'm so glad to see you guys here. We got it in yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw some of the comedy hour. Thank you, Dr. B, for posting. We walked yesterday. They was trying. I was trying to go up 5 minutes, but the heat was heating, y'all. So I don't know. I might have to come up. Good morning, Damon. Good morning, Keisha. I don't know if I spoke to you this morning. So y'all know I'm trying to nobody's over there on YouTube, y'all. Y'all forgot. I'm gonna go live here just in case to catch some people. But if y'all would go to tomorrow, because we already here now. So, but tomorrow, can y'all go look? Let me find it. And I got to figure out how, and if you need the YouTube channel, put YouTube and I'll send it to you. So good morning, Reverend Penny. Are you on, or Keisha, are you on YouTube? Because I can't, everybody's coming up with Facebook. But I'm trying to grow the YouTube channel because like Facebook been Facebooking and it's doing its own thing. And then the stuff don't it won't last. Like I have to do all this download and all this other stuff. So I'm trying to grow the YouTube. But if this is where y'all want to hang out at, okay, I'm gonna go with it. But okay, all right, I see. Okay, Reverend Penny is over there on the YouTube. Okay, hey girl, hey. So see, if you make comments over there, if you get on Good Morning Teresa, if you get on the YouTube channel, it can get me some action over there, and then I can see I can start building up some things over there. And from what I've been hearing, you can get a little a greater return over there. If you know their dividends, that's just what they say. And so I'm trying to work these things out, and we can go in there. But today we're talking about being no more delays, obeying God's standards today. And so when we start thinking about what that looks like, and what we need to do on our end. Okay, all right, Keisha, okay, I see you, Mother McKnight. I'll get it. Okay, I hear you, Dr. B. Yeah. And so that will help me over there. But when we often think that, we often think about when we do things wrong, we think of it as sin, as doing something wrong. But James reminds us that if we don't do the right thing, like when we know to do good, it's like, was a Paul, I think it's either Paul said, I would do good, but evil is always present, or it might be David. I can't, if some of my Bible scholars here, who is it that says that? Well, I would do good, but evil is always present. Okay. Because we think that doing the wrong thing is sin. But if you don't do what's right, like when he who knows to do good doesn't do something, that is good old sin, right? And so we don't think about it like that. So when we look at James 4:17, it says, therefore to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him is sin. Now that's the King James Version. I have to go to that children's Bible. I've been hanging my hat in the children's Bible. And so when you think about how, because he said, unless you come as a little child, listen, it ain't nothing he can do for you, right? You gotta suffer. Come on in, humble yourself on down. Because when we was kids, all they had to do was tell us to do something, and we do it. We didn't question it. Well, if you wasn't a little sass mouth like me, sometimes I question some things. And and um and I'm like, okay, that's why the daughter did it, and now the little mini me be trying to, you know, do some things. But according to James and 4:17, it says, and when a person knows the right thing to do, but does not do it, then he is sinning. So it's not just wrapped up in sin in what you do wrong, but when you know to do not to do the right thing. Okay, all right, Romans. Okay, I see you. Dr. B put it up there. Yes, Romans 7:25, and so Damon done spelled it out. It says, "I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present within me." Who said that? That's what women is. That's Romans, so that might be. Is that Paul? And so we got to make sure that we're doing the right thing. We doing the right thing, because when we know, sometimes we have gotten into some discussions in our Bible study group, and sometimes we may not want to do the right thing. Especially, we've been talking about love and all those types of things. And sometimes when you get hurt, Paul is in Romans. Okay, thank you, Dr. B. Dr. B is a scholar. She's got her. Is it Christian education, Dr. B? Well, I'll be looking forward to her doing some great things. And look, go on and start that school, girl, and see what the Lord say. And then because I'm looking for a part-time. Oh yes, ma'am. I'm drinking my water and minding my business this morning. Yes, I start out. I'm trying to get hydrated early this morning. So yes, this is look, everybody want my cup. But this cup was Teresa, this is one of your mom's cups. And I was like, no, this is my girlfriend's mama cup. And no, ma'am, y'all not. My daughter trying to jack me for it. but I'm starting early in the morning, getting my water. And so when we start thinking about all the things that we want to do, and sometimes when people hurt us, we may not want to we may not want to do the right thing, but if we know to do um yes, okay. She praying about, okay, all right. Is that a new school or that's something else that you'll be taking on? Okay, we're believing God with you. Yes, yes, yes. Zola's Academy. Okay. So look, we'll be touching with Dr. B on touching and agreeing with her about her opening at school. And so when we start thinking about um the weight of delayed disobedience, that listen, delayed disobedience is still disobedience. That's the first point I want to make. Because listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Choosing to do the right thing, and then deciding well, I'm away, I may not, that's delayed disobedience. When the Lord give you something, and we found out, shout out to Cassandra, Pastor Cassandra Durham. She let us know yesterday you might not be getting some of your stuff, and the way the Lord came yesterday on the circle. If you didn't get a chance to see it, go and hit the replay. And if you need the link, just say send me the link. Send me the link. So how many of us that's on here? It's about 10 of us on here this morning. How that delayed disobedience is that have you found yourself in delayed disobedience? Oh, we know better. Delayed disobedience. Listen, let me look. Delayed disobedience is not worth it. Just do it. Because guess what? When you don't, he will definitely whoop you. You think he won't? Good morning, Shantae. So good to see you this morning. It's listen, denial is is choosing not to walk in obedience, and it's a character where you're willing to keep. Are you willing to keep that? Are you willing to be in? Matter of fact, it's really straight up rebellion at that point. When you decide not to. First Samuel says, he that have the Lord is great delight, burnt honor and sacrifice, and obeying the voice of the Lord. Behold, to obey it is better to obey than the sacrifice. Listen, and to hearten than the fat of the ram. Come on here, Damon, bring that word. So listen, you better know it that if you decide that you're not going to obey God, or you take a long time, it's not worth it. That delayed obedience, it's not worth it at all. Listen, we have some witnesses here. She said it is a insult to God. Come on here. Yes, rebel, count up the cost. Because when you start thinking about the things that God want you to do, help me, Holy Ghost. And then you decide you're going uh you're gonna make a decision, you're not gonna do it, baby, you won't get no sleep, you won't get no rest. Because when I tell you that God is, he is he ain't gonna let us do nothing against our will, right? We get that free will, and that's the thing that trips us up. We think, well maybe, or I don't know, but if you even second guess, because you know me, I'm like, okay, 5:45 in the morning. God, can I switch this thing up? No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Pam. And so number two is, it says it brings me to my second point. It says obedience requires courage and not convenience. Okay. Is it convenient for me to be up at 5:45 in the morning? No, it's not. Because those of you that know me, y'all know I got that relationship with the good deacon, Sheets, that is. And so listen, and are we choosing to disobey? You slapping him. Dr. B, you better come on it, girl. You better come on and get this mic. You on fire this morning. You better know it. It is like doing the right thing often costs us something. But um it always aligns with what God's will is. God is teaching me something in this. He's giving me the discipline to get up, because some of you may not know, me getting up and getting out the house for the past almost 3 years has been a struggle. Many of you may not even know that, but it has been a struggle. And so there are days I don't want to get out of the bed. There are days I don't want to be bothered. I mean, yes, top flight security. Yes, Miss Social Butterfly. I have be in that mode that I don't want to people. I don't want to do nothing but just lay in the bed. I can't even. Good morning, Margaret. The day got away from me yesterday, but I'm gonna call you. I might call you as soon as I get off this thing. If is you at work already? Because I ain't gonna bother you if you're at work. But um and you can't talk at work, because I can talk at work. So but that thing started getting the best of me. And so now when I get up in the morning, I'm intentional. I got a plan, and I'm not as stressed. I'm not as antsy about getting up. I'm not contemplating it's today I'm gonna turn in my notice. Like, is the day I'm gonna turn in my notice and retire. And the Lord's like, it ain't time for you to retire. Why? Because you are still in that mode of, oh, I don't want to do nothing. I don't want to be bothered. So if I retire now, it's not gonna be good for me. Like, I gotta have a plan, and I have to have something planned out. If I don't have a plan, I'm gonna be sitting in that bed, and next thing I know, y'all, I'll be on that show, 600-pound life. Can't get out of the bed, can't move and do nothing. And so that's not the life and the plan that he wants for me. So me getting up at 5:45, me studying and getting in his word and learning some different things, some disciplines. Because guess what? When you are on your own, and how many entrepreneurs or inspired entrepreneurs do I have out there, or people who have a business and running that business? Tell me this. If you don't work, you don't eat, right? Is that it? I just want to know, because you got to be motivated to move. There is nobody calling you saying, girl, you didn't clock in, you didn't show up to the meeting, you didn't come over here. The providers is calling you saying they ain't seen you, they ain't heard. If you have your own business, okay, I see you, Margaret. Um, do you have somebody calling and checking in on you? Those entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. Um, tell me about it. Tell me about it. If it look, it says it goes for man or woman. Okay, okay. So tell me, is somebody calling you? And ain't this so true? Like, no call. She's Ain't nobody calling checking on you. So if you're not if you're not disciplined enough to get up on your own, to be an entrepreneur. And the Lord had told me when I was going to retire 2 years ago, like I just was going to up, and I had already had my retirement date, baby. Okay. Did I ask the Lord? Nope. I just was going to do it. I was going to retire April 1st, 2024. Didn't ask God nothing. I just was going to do it. Okay. So I thought. He said, baby, you ain't ready. Nobody is calling. She said, so baby, you better stay. You better stay. If you better know what you know. And so when you start thinking about your obedience and the courage that it takes to be with your obedience, listen, you have to obey God, and you have to do it the first time. Like we have talked about this so many mornings and day 21s, delayed disobedience is still disobedience. And so cannot, I don't want to disobey God. I don't want to disappoint him. And so when we start thinking about this, I'll get to my last point and I'm gonna move out the way. God doesn't just judge our action, he sees our inaction. Let me take a sip of water on that. Because he not just going off of what we doing. He going off what we don't do. Good morning to see you, Jalita. So good to see you. Obeying God. Let me put this on the screen. So, okay. It says requires movement. It's action. It's moving forward. It's like the mirror ministry. Okay. Because you looking at your going through the window in front of you is bigger than the one that's behind you. That is so true. Because when you think about what's behind you, and sometimes we don't realize how good God has had it for us, because we're so busy looking back there. And when you know that rear view mirror, that's so on point. That rear view mirror is so much smaller, and that's the one you looking in to back up. Even a little smaller camera for the the new model cars, you got the backup camera. That's right. It's still smaller than that big old windshield in front of you. Okay, the ultimate is obey God at any cost, because I'm telling you, the sin that we do is not always visible. Whew. Do you hear me? It will not work if you do not if you don't trust God in being an entrepreneur. That is so true. Oh, and she said in action. Ooh, listen, we have to deny ourselves in order to obey God. And when we start thinking about that and we start getting into our own desires. So 4/1/24, I had already had it in my mind. And then the Lord said, you can't retire because you're not doing nothing with the time that you already have. You're not making use of the time when you get off at 4:30. He said, get up, give yourself a break. So you got 5:30. So 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30. At the very latest, you can stop at 9 o'clock to get into bed at a decent hour. Good morning, Mother Loretta. You're not doing nothing with the time that you have right now. So why am I going to give you? You got 4 to 5 hours when you get off work. What are you doing with that time? And you talking about you want to retire, and you're going to get a whole nother 8 more hours. So then you got anywhere from 12 to 13 hours that you're going to be doing nothing. What? He said, I'm not getting ready to give you that okay to do that. And then I start counting up the cost, y'all. And I'm going to tell you, counting up the cost, I never looked at. And what I was saying to people, and this made sense, because I said it to Brother Blackman. And he was gone for, I said, you know what? If I retire now, it's only going to be $200 less, right? And he thinking, okay, $200 less. Everybody's like, girl, go ahead on and do it. Because, girl, you can do this and do that and get $200. But the bigger picture was, it was $200 less from what they were going to give me from retirement, not $200 less of what I was making. So, because when you retire, and those of you that's already retired on here, I want you to put some fire in the chat. Your retirement check is not your full check that you got, and it was a big difference from your retirement to your, if you didn't get your Social Security, like your money is different. And can I get a witness? Your money is way different than what you're doing with your other with your regular paycheck. And I had to get that in my mind. But did God tell me to do that? Absolutely not. He didn't even tell me to retire. I was going to jump out there because somebody said it. But God didn't tell me that. Right? So then I would have been disobedient, because he had already given me some instructions and said you wasn't ready. You ain't even got nothing to say. You ain't even got nothing. You didn't even count up the cost. You going to jump out here because somebody else told you, and I'm telling you to stay, and you going to move. Okay, I see some fire, so I ain't the only one. Your money is a little different. And now, as I have learned to do that, Bro Black has said to me, okay, I'm in agreement if you want to retire. But listen, those girls trips, those spur of the moment trips, the let's get together and jump on the road trip, listen. Baby, you ain't gonna be able to do all that. Well, you know that was a deal breaker for me. Like, oh, well, I think I better stay at work until the Lord gives me a direct plan and gives me an options and gives me the go ahead and says this is this. Look, go ahead on, Mother Deborah. She said, "Good morning to you." She said, "Quite a bit difference." So you better count up the cost, and you better have a plan. You better not jump out there and be disobedient to God, because God did not tell me to do it. Okay, so I'm telling you, the sin is. Wait a minute, let me see what Dr. B. The sin is easy because it's the norm. The new norm is putting it away, putting it to rest. It's simple decision of mind, body, and soul. So listen, we got to make sure that we're lining up with what God has for us, what He's telling us to do, because we already know that delayed disobedience is really is disobedience. So if we know, I always give you a obedience yields growth and catapults us forward and anchors us even the more. So when we get ourselves together, when we really walk in the true alignment with God, there is no good thing, right? So if you going through something and you suffering through something, there's no good thing that He will withhold from us if we walk upright with Him, if we follow and obey Him. So I always leave y'all. So I want you to look at one area of your life where you have delayed doing what God had asked you to do. I want you to get that thing in your mind. And then I want you to ask yourself, is this worth it? Take one obedient step towards God today. Whether it's a conversation, like, because sometimes we can talk too much or we can listen too much. We can stay right there in that conversation way too long because we don't want nobody to say nothing. Look, I understand, friend. Listen, go take a walk, take a deep breath, because if He ain't telling us to move, because these feelings, baby, they fickle and they funny, and they'll have us out here looking crazy, twirling our thumbs and biting our false nails and pulling out hair out from a wig. Okay, they will have these feelings be feeling sometime, and they'll have you all the way out. Good morning, Z. So good to see you this morning. And I'm telling you, if you do not stay whole and stay close to that altar and stay down on your knees, you'll find yourself doing something else, and it ain't even in the will of the Lord. So we know that if we hear what God is telling us to do, that means we need to surrender. We need to change our conversations. We need to get out of the conversation. When this conversation start going left, you need to go right. And you need to start. And when people start going in the wrong direction in the conversation with you, you got two choices. You can say something. Walking on those feelings, Keisha, will get you in a world of trouble. You got to learn to say, feelings, get over here. You talking to somebody who walked in the spirit of offense. Honey, I would be offended at a drop of a dime. And I'd be ready to do some things that was contrary to the will of the Lord. Because these feelings have had me out there and had me almost make a whole fool out of myself based on something that wasn't even that happened to me. It happened to somebody else. And so that's when you have to start saying, okay, I'm too attached to this. I can hear things, but we have to begin to start putting Lord, He said right here, put a shield. We got to begin to ask the God. God is our sun and our shield, and He will no good thing will He withhold from us when we walk upright. And we got to shield our hearts and our minds today and shut our mouth. Even if what you're saying, listen, even if what you're saying is right, if it ain't, is Proverbs talks about it. It says, whatsoever thing is just, whatsoever thing is pure, whatsoever thing is lovely, if there be any virtue, be any praise, think on these things. We don't think about those things when it may be true, but is it honorable? Is it uplifting my brother, my sister? If it's not doing those things, baby, we got to let it go. And so let's put in some fire in the chat if you're ready to stop delaying and start walking in what God said. Be still and know. You better say it, Z. Be still and know that I am God. We often, let me see what it says. We often equate disobedience in sexual interactions. However, sin is sin. That's right. It starts with a thought. We talked about this last night in the Bible study. And Mother Loretta, if you still on, I started talking about, I said, listen, y'all know how I am about black suede. Y'all already know. Black suede is a scent that I'm telling you. And I said, they said, what you mean? I said, sometimes you have to put those thoughts and those things, because we was talking about the woman who had committed adultery, and it was like, where is all your accusers and all this other stuff? I said, just because you are older and you are married and you're different things, you have to put some things under subjection of the Holy Ghost. And I said, that black suede smell, and I said, and sometimes the brethren come in through the church and they have smells and different things, and I be like, wait a minute, go on, I'm not hugging you today, I love you, you stay right on over there, get yourself together. Because it starts with a thought. You start thinking and you start smelling and all these other stuff, and all these other things start trying to well up in you. You have to kind of put yourself together and be like, not today, Satan. I'm in here to church. I'm in here to worship. I'm not getting ready to get tripped up on something or somebody. Listen, I got Bro Black over here. And y'all like, okay, yeah. So just know that joker, that's what I tell you, the enemy, he'll come and he'll try to sneak his little way in there. And so you have to be on your P's and Q's. So if you're ready to start being obedient and stop this delaying, put some fire in the chat. And then I want you to put an area where you want to start obeying. Me, I got to start obeying with this flesh. This flesh wants to eat cookie cakes and pies. Okay, I want to eat cookie cakes and pies, and right now that's not the thing for me to do. I can eat it every now and then, but I don't need to eat a whole roll. Right? I don't need to eat the whole. He's a crafty loser. Yes, he is. And he's slick. So I was so proud of myself Sunday. We had a good breakfast. I mean, they cooked the breakfast for the Father's Day, and there was a good food on the menu, but it was stuff that I did not need. And so I was proud of myself. I walked right out. And they said, no. I said, no, I'm going on in. I was going to get ready for a cookout, but I said, you know what? I cannot. Because if I start eating this and eating that, it's going to wake up that appetite in me. And then I'm going to start doing this. Because Mother had that coffee cake over there. And I wouldn't have just got one coffee cake. I'd have got two, because I'd have took me some home. So listen, yeah, Dr. B, you said it. No, ma'am, Pam. So I know that that's one of the things that I am surrendering, that I'm going to obey God, that I'm going to put the right things in my body. There's no need to be up, moving and walking, and then I'm doing something else. So I want you to share one area that you want to walk in obedience today, that you want to begin to grow in obedience, and stop this delayed disobedience. And let's put this flesh under subjection of the Holy Ghost, and he's not going to rule in us today, because we're gonna stick with Jesus. All right, that's all I have for you this morning. I'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same back channel. And remember, put something in there. And remember, we're going over to YouTube. So if you need my YouTube channel, put YouTube, and I'll send you the direct link. I'm trying to move people over to YouTube, because Facebook be Facebooking, and they try to sometimes I can't see your comments. Sometimes I can't go back and comment. I just want to be able to utilize and get my YouTube channel going over there. So if you need the YouTube channel, put YouTube, and then we would do, I will give you that link so we can get over there and start building and doing some good things on YouTube. Remember, words do matter. They really do. And so we're walking in obedience today. We are no longer we're not going to have any more delays, and we're going to obey God and walk in his standards. Yep. Sugar can. Okay. All right. So let me see you. Great, Z. So good to see you. Yes. Yes. So I will give you all the YouTube channel, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. And hopefully y'all be over there on YouTube. Okay, I see everybody, so I can get that channel. I still have over here because people come, but I'm trying to build YouTube. So I'll see y'all in the morning. We got about 8 minutes. So I see y'all over there on the sister side. We having revival this week, so it's Monet this morning. So we just gonna see, because they keep building and building. I might have to take the rest of the week off because baby, this revival been reviving. All right. See you later in the morning.
Now tell me exactly how you feel. I'm just trying to keep it real. Let me love you on the inside. Love you on the inside. Tell me exactly what you mean.